Okay, welcome back, guys. So I want to start off this video just by asking two really simple questions to you. Number one, do you know why some listings on Etsy seem to make hundreds, if not thousands of sales, and then you've got other listings on Etsy that look to be on the surface pretty much the exact same quality, but just make hardly any sales? That's the first question. The second question, do you know specifically what the Etsy algorithm actually look at in your listings and your shop to determine where to rank your listings in searches? Okay, so that's the second question. And now, if you don't confidently know the answer to either of those questions, then you're in for a real treat, guys, because you're definitely going to learn something from today's video. So I wanted to go through this article that Etsy have put out on creating listings that convert, because it's so interesting, guys. It's a great read, and it basically just explains some really, really important information that you need to know about what Etsy looks at with both your shop and your listings to determine exactly where to rank your products in searches. And not only that, guys, but it also explains in detail some of the key factors that we can do to our listings to actually make them convert so much better on Etsy based on stats that Etsy have gathered over the years of being open. So yeah, I think it's going to be a great video, guys. It's just me and you. We're just going to go through this article together, talk for our thoughts, go through everything in detail. So if you're new here, guys, welcome. My name is Alfie. I'm a full-time entrepreneur, and I've been selling on Etsy for just coming up to 4 years now with, I'd say, some relatively good success. So yeah, I don't want to waste any time. Let's just start working our way through this article in detail together. So guys, this article basically starts off by talking about what Etsy actually is as a platform and what their goal is. And of course, their goal is basically for customers to come onto the platform, find the product that they want, buy that product, and then be happy enough with that product that they then want to return to Etsy and spend more money on the platform, okay? And of course, this is the major way that Etsy actually exists as a business and that Etsy gets their money themselves. And so, of course, what does Etsy need to do to enable that their customers are going to be happy and find what they want? They need to make sure that the best products are presented in front of the customers to match their search query as best as possible. And of course, to do this, Etsy Search looks at clues from shoppers to determine whether a listing is actually appealing and will meet their expectations once they click. And to do this, Etsy look at how well a listing converts, how many people view it, and then take an action such as favoriting or purchasing that item. And then, of course, the higher the ratio of people that have either purchased or favorited an item in comparison to the number of people that have actually viewed that item, of course, boosts the listing's engagement rate. So that is a metric that measures a listing's popularity with buyers and thus determines the placement of the listing in search results. And again, Etsy say here, to put it simply, when shoppers click on and purchase a listing from searches, that listing will then in the future rank higher for the same given search queries that other customers may be typing in the future. So again, I'm going to put it even more simply than that for you guys. The more favorites and the more interaction, the more clicks that you get with your listing, the better that listing is going to perform in the future. And so it goes on to say, how does Etsy actually determine a listing's engagement rate? And it says, of course, new shops and listings start with a neutral listing engagement rate. However, this next part, guys, is something which I know a lot of YouTubers say, is something I've mentioned a lot myself on my channel. It's very important. So when a new listing is created, it gets a small temporary boost in search results. So Etsy Search can quickly learn more about how shoppers interact with that item. So if you watch a lot of Etsy YouTubers, guys, and you hear that when you list a new item, it gets a boost in searches, that's not myth, okay? That's not some like mythical bit of information that's just been like passed down from the ages. That's actually fact. And this is another reason why I say it's so important, no matter what shop you own, to just continuously be putting high quality listings out, because then your store is constantly getting that new listing boost. And of course, with that, you're always maximizing the amount of eyes that you have on your products. And of course, then in turn, clicking through and actually landing on your shop. So while your product gets that temporary boost, what does Etsy actually look at to determine a listing's engagement rate? So of course, they're going to look at things like clicks, favorites, and purchases. But the interesting thing here is that Etsy also looks at things like past shopper behavior on your store to determine how good you are as an Etsy store and how reliable you are as an Etsy business. So this is why I say, guys, especially as a new shop, it's going to be a lot harder for you to suddenly get listings out, even if they're super good quality, and get those listings right to the top of searches. Because of course, as you can read here from Etsy, previous behavior activity on your shop plays a massive role. Okay. And that's also why you can see shops that have been open for, say, years. Why a lot of people say about this snowball effect, right? Because as the longer you've been open and the more sales, the more favorites, the more clicks on listings you get and on your shop, the more reviews you get, etc., etc. This, of course, massively tells the Etsy algorithm that your shop just gets so much more engagement. So when you put a new listing out, because Etsy looks at past shopper engagement on your shop, it then automatically ranks that listing a lot higher than, say, even if a brand new shop had a better quality listing, it's going to take that brand new shop a little bit more time for that listing to really start ranking in searches. Which is why I say, guys, again, if you're a brand new shop and if you're getting any sort of interaction with your listings in, say, the first few weeks, the first few months, you're getting clicks, you're getting favorites, getting the odd sell here and there, that's really promising signs. And I always say, don't necessarily base your success on where you're currently at with your shop. Base your success or potential success on what your shop is going to look 1 year, 2 years down the line once you're a lot more established. So yeah, as usual, guys, we massively digress. So let's get back to this article. And so optimizing your listings with conversions in mind is one step you can take to improve your search ranking and your shop's visibility. Getting clicks from searches. The first step in increasing your conversion rate is getting shoppers to actually click on your listings in search results. And guys, if you've watched any of my content before, you know I've literally tried to coin this phrase myself on YouTube about Etsy. If a shopper does not click on your listing, they will never even get the chance to buy your listing. For me, this is step number one. And I love that Etsy's talking about this because it's so important. Number one, front and center, what's the first thing that we're going to do to get more clicks on our listings? First listing photo, otherwise known as, guys, your thumbnail images. So it then goes on to talk about a few tips about how to get the best thumbnail images. It's really important to read, or as I'm talking you through this, to listen about what Etsy tells us, okay? Etsy has all of the behind the scenes stats for all of the buyer's behavior and all of the listings that convert the highest. All Etsy wants at the end of the day, like I said at the start, is for customers to come to Etsy, buy products, buy exactly what they want, the best quality products, leave, and then come back again to buy more. So if Etsy is telling you to do something, or Etsy is telling you things that really work on the platform, then that means that they really do work on the platform. So let's read through what it advises in terms of the thumbnail images. So the first photo should clearly show the item that's for sale and be eye-catching enough that buyers want to take a closer look. So in other words, make the first photo, make sure that it makes buyers actually want to click. Second, of course, make sure it's high resolution. Guys, this should go without saying. Obviously use high quality images. Please don't be somebody that uses blurry images on your thumbnail images. It's just not going to cut it on Etsy in 2025. And then it goes on to say, guys, avoid using collages in your first listing photo. Now, this is something that was brought in as a good guideline last year on Etsy in 2024. However, I'm not sure how much I agree with this one, okay? Because if I go to Etsy, and I know for a fact, if I type in something like custom dog mug, for example, you see, it says that collages doesn't work on Etsy anymore. However, if you look at this one, the bestseller listing out of the bunch here, this is a collage. I'm talking about this listing right here, guys, just to the left of me here. Bestseller tag, the front and center image that they use, this is a collage. And by the way, for anybody that doesn't know, when Etsy refers to collages, they mean this. Annoyingly, whenever my mouse goes on it, it just changes to the video, and you can't see where I'm pointing. But yeah, when Etsy says collage, they mean the little circle cut out and then the arrow going down. That is going to class as a collage. Yeah, this is something that Etsy's advised, but I know that there's plenty of bestseller listings out there See here, this one, another collage. This is another collage. And it's something you see quite a lot in the custom images. But yeah, I certainly know 100% that there's plenty of bestseller. See another collage here. There's plenty of bestseller listings out there still using the collages. So I'm 50-50 on that, to be honest. And then images should not have your text here, placeholder copy, but should reflect an example of a finished product. Again, I'm not 100% sure where I stand on this one, to be honest, guys, because I still see plenty of listings out there, especially mock-ups that say like your text here, for example. And yeah, I'm just going to leave it there because I'm not 100% sure on that one. Each of your listings should include multiple high-quality photos, which are critical for buyers when deciding when to make a purchase. Again, guys, goes without saying, I'm a massive proponent. Just you always make sure you're using the best quality images possible for your listings. Whether you're selling digital products, you're selling print-on-demand products, make sure you have the best mock-ups possible. Whether you're selling physical products, again, when doing your product photography, I've shown this tip in my videos before, I always advise to try and use a bit of a blurred background. Whatever you can do to make your product really stand out from the background and really make it pop on the busy Etsy search pages, I think that can only be an advantage to you. It then goes on to say listing title. So listing titles play a critical role in getting shoppers to click on your listing. Your title should make it easy for shoppers to quickly see what you're selling and what makes it unique. Shoppers only see the first few words of your title when they're looking at search results, so make sure you're using that space to describe what your item is. Guys, this is so important. If you go on any listing on Etsy, like you can see here on my screen, it's only, I believe, the first 40 characters of the listing that actually gets shown to customers. So I say it a million times. Please make sure that the first 40 characters describe exactly what the listing is. Like you see all these ones that are showing up on the first page here, like, wow, bestseller, perfect example. Personalized pet mug, pet face, custom pet mug, dog and owner mug. You see all of these listing titles describe exactly what the product is in the first 40 characters. So you can't miss it. They carry the most weight. So just make sure that you're using it wisely. And the article then goes on to talk about price. So it's very obvious that price actually does play a pretty critical role in whether customers are going to be buying or even seeing our products in searches or not. So it says here, shoppers might have a specific price point in mind before they even start their search. So as you expand your inventory over time, be sure to list items across price points to reach shoppers no matter what their budget. And I'm sure this should say, be sure to list items across multiple different price points to reach shoppers no matter what their budget. Again, this is a great tip I always say, guys. So I've just started working with a new digital product client. And one thing we're really working on now when we grow out the product catalog is to have our initial low budget offering, so say under $5, our mid-tier products, say between $5 and $20, and then our higher tier digital products, so say $20 all the way up to say $60, $70. So again, this really then enables the store to have a product for all of the different price ranges, no matter who is coming onto the store and what their budget is. There should be a product on the store that they are eligible in terms of their budget to actually buy. So yeah, I definitely agree with this one. I think that's a really good point. Special offers. Yeah, again, running a sale or offering free delivery can also make your listing stand out from the competition in search results. Free delivery, this is something I massively promote, guys. And if you watch some of my previous videos, you know, I do like to offer free delivery. I think it really makes the product stand out. And there is no doubt free delivery improves conversion rates. I mean, you think of it, and you probably know yourself, right? How many times do you go to buy something online? You add it to your basket, you go through, you get the checkout, and then you see like $5, $6, $7, $8 maybe delivery charge, and you are just like, what? Like, I didn't sign up for that. And then suddenly you're just like, okay, right, I either need to think about this or I'm not going to buy that because the delivery charge is too high. That is going to plummet your conversion rate. Whereas if you've got free delivery, there's no barriers to stop the customer from not buying your product then once they add it to your basket and get to checkout. Like there's no other barriers in the way. And of course, as we know, conversion rates massively play into where your listing is going to rank in the future. So yeah, I've done it a lot on my shops. Free delivery, I think that is a solid tip. And again, reviews. Customers can also see your shop's review star average when browsing search results. Guys, reviews are everything on Etsy. When selling products online, social proof is everything. It is so important. Every single client I work with, every shop I own myself, I make sure that if there is a sale made, number one, that customer is being messaged when they buy the product to, just say a nice big thank you for buying and thank you for supporting the business. And then after they've received the product, they get a message again to say, hi, thanks so much for buying the product from us. Just want to make sure the product's arrived okay. It's not damaged. Everything's exactly how you expected it to be. If you're happy, would you mind supporting our small business and leaving us a review? So guys, that message gets sent for every customer on every sale. I know it's a bit of work, but if you're just copy and pasting the message time and time again, you can do it a lot quicker. But yeah, I know it's a lot of work, but it is so worth it. Now it goes on to say increasing your conversion rate. So this is more once a shopper has actually already clicked onto your listing, how do we then actually convert? Once a shopper has clicked on your listings from search, you have a chance to make a sell and an opportunity to increase your conversion rate and listing quality score. Again, guys, it goes on to talk about things which I have spoken about in so many of my other YouTube videos. So, you listening to this, you almost don't even need to watch any of my other YouTube videos. Nah, I'm joking, guys. There is some other good information in them. But yeah, to create a great listing, think about all the information that you yourself would look for and consider when making a purchase. So it goes on to tell us the example. Say you're buying a jumper. You'd want to know how much it costs, what kind of material it's made out of, and how it fits. Again, guys, I always say this, make use of your listing's photos, the description, the processing time that the customer gets to see, and the delivery price and time that the customer gets to see. All of these parts of the listing are critical because what do they all do? They all answer the customer questions. And if a customer is unsure about any of these things, so again, like with the jumper example, if you're ordering a jumper, if you don't know how that jumper is going to fit on you, you're probably not going to buy it. If you don't know what the color of the jumper is going to look like, you're probably not going to buy it. If you don't know how long the jumper is going to take to arrive, or there's like a 10-day delivery window and it could arrive at any point in that time, you're probably going to be a bit more hesitant to buy it. Again, if you're selling digital products, if you don't know how to download the digital product, if you don't know what you get as part of the digital product or how many downloads you actually get in that, then you're probably going to be a bit more hesitant to buy that digital product. If you're buying a physical product and you don't know how big it is, you don't know what the materials is this made out of. All of these things, if there's anything that you don't know about the product and you have unanswered questions in your head, it's probably going to put you off. So again, guys, all of these things are really critical. Like they're just so critical. Make sure that everything you do with your product is based on answering customer questions and making them as sure as possible of the product they're buying so that there's no hurdles in the way to stop them buying that product. And I promise, guys, if you do these things and you focus on creating consistent, high quality listings, even if you are a new store, and you make sure that everything in that listing, you're using high quality pictures, you've got your photos, your description, everything is set up perfectly for conversions to answer customer questions, and you just be consistent with it, whether it's, say, a few months, even a year of being open, do things right, and you will make sales. Etsy is a mega player in the e-commerce marketplace game. They have so much traffic on the platform, so many people on there wanting to buy products. There are so many shops on Etsy that make full-time incomes. If somebody has done it before, there is honestly no reason why you cannot do it in the future. And if not in the future, why not now? So yeah, guys, just put the time in, and I promise you, I've seen it with my clients, seen it with my own stores. You can make a full-time income on Etsy. Don't ever let anybody tell you that you can't. Just put the time in. Guys, even if you feel like giving up, and I know that a lot of people do feel this way, especially in Q1 when sales are lower than what they have been throughout the rest of the year, then we can really use this to our advantage, okay? Me and you, we can use this to our advantage because this is when all of the competition drops out. So many sellers drop out of the game during Q1 because their sales are lower. They don't know how to handle it, and they don't keep going, and they don't keep being consistent. This is our time to keep going as business owners and take advantage of this. And yeah, guys, if you don't know how possible it is to make a mega successful shop on Etsy, then I've done a whole video breaking down a shop that started from nothing, started designing and selling phone cases, and are now made over $1 million on the platform. I've done a video breaking down exactly how that shop did it and what makes them so special. If you want to check that video out, then there should be a link either on the left or the right somewhere at the end of this video. But yeah, just want to say, guys, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for listening to me ramble on through this. It's such important stuff. Take good care of yourself, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, guys.